Papa's here. It's that time again. We got content. This time it's not 3 a.m., it's actually like 8 p.m. on a Thursday. But, I gotta show off with presents for all of my kids here. All my children. You will all be beaten mercilessly. Anyway, so this time we're back on the Steam forums, because where else am I gonna go for good, easy content? But, because the average Steam forum user is an absolute brainlet, today we have some fine brainlet activity. This time it's about a tournaments and such in Street Fighter 6. Now, I really love Street Fighter 6. I also love being an asshole to people on the internet. Perfect combination opportunity, of course. So, I'm going to leave it up on screen here, and you are free to, peruse that entire post. But, long story short, I was playing in a tournament, as I do, and I've been getting really sick of all the Asia server players coming over to North America servers and just being there and ruining the connectivity, or smurfing, as I had happen, which was a massive combination of both, the connecting to the wrong region and doing something incredibly asshole-ish. So, I made a post about it. I made a Reddit thread as well. I fucking hate Reddit, but some subreddits have somewhat rational human beings in them. It turns out the Street Fighter one isn't necessarily one of them, but, some people were rational. Anyways, moving on from damn near dying just thinking about Reddit. I made this post, and, I got some fairly receptive, feedback here. It's like, hey, I was in a teleporting match against a Marissa on Wi-Fi, haven't bothered with tournaments since, I can't, say I've had good experiences with tournaments, Luke's and Ken's teleporting and shit. This guy, he's an oddball out. He said, I had no problems so far. Some people may, experience may vary, but, I think this guy just doesn't notice, or he is the guy with the bad connection. I don't really know, but both are likely. And, he's just like, this is a badly designed format. This guy suffered through him for just the achievements. And, respectable if you suffered through it, and, it's fair. I do tend to play more ranked than I do anything else. But, then we have Ranchi over here. I like to believe his name is Rancy because he has rancid shit opinions. I like to think he mashed his rancid shit and just chopped off some letters just like he removed some of his brain in his lobotomite surgery. But we'll save some insulting for later, after we've heard some of this man's absolutely dog water opinions. But, starting off strong with this guy, he's the only one who's disagreed, and he says, I've been looking into it, and I came to the realization that Asia region doesn't have enough servers. They have exactly the same number of servers in every single region, and there are 24 servers in those regions that host tournaments. This does not change across regions, so this is already not true. I went to check all of the servers during the 3 tournaments that happened and noticed there's literally no room during the first and third tournaments of the day. They don't have enough lobbies to host them, so they end up going to North America servers during those hours. No, they don't. This is not true. He says he checked it. We will find out later that I even ran the numbers from SteamDB and cross-checked the timestamps to confirm what I was already an understanding of. I.e., this isn't true. They are not filling up this number of slots. There's a distinct reason why he doesn't say an outright number here, and he just says all of them were full. Trust me, I checked. He doesn't give any citation for when he checked or that he actually did. He just says he did, and his source is, believe me, bro. And, that's not good enough for me. And then he goes on to say, also, there's no smurfing in tournaments. They have no rank restrictions. If you compete in one of them during the morning, you'll usually see them containing at least one master ranked player. And even if you find one with no master ranked players, one is bound to join last minute. And if you win, you just have to be better than the rest of the players. This man has already now demonstrated he does not know what he's talking about. And that last half there is where I caught him on his lies. And it's how I know he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because if you know anything about what I've said so far, you will understand that smurfing is definitely happening. And rank restrictions do exist in tournaments. Because there are two kinds of tournaments. You have the phase tournaments. We are currently, as of this time, having a phase 4 tournament this weekend. And a rank league separated tournament this weekend. And we just had one of them a day ago, Wednesday the 8th. I participated in that one, and actually I won the 11 p.m. tournament. I was very proud of that one. And then I immediately went back to shitting on this guy the very next day. Anyways, I then proceeded to say, so you expect me to believe that all 27 unrestricted Asia servers are so full at the same time? One, it's literally not true. Even at launch, the servers were not at capacity. So he's already not telling the truth, and as we know, the number of servers is exactly the same across all regions. 24 hosting, 27 currently. At launch, this was not the case. All of them were unrestricted. They added in, skill servers later with intermediate and beginners, but that's irrelevant. This is not the case. We already knew he was lying, and now we're just calling him out on it here. There are 0 rank restricted tournaments. As I said, yes, there are. How does he address this? He says, I didn't say all the time, I just said that they were full during the first and third tournaments. So that's 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. CST for me. Except there's a problem. They don't host tournaments at 7 a.m. or 9 p.m. CST. How do I know this? I did a conversion, because they're hosted on the Universal Time Code, which means that this is going to rapidly fall apart, and this is another spot where I checked him, because the tournaments are all hosted at the exact same time. 9 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m. Eastern. They are the same times in all regions. There cannot be a 7 a.m. and a 9 p.m. CST event occurring. They don't exist. And then he proceeds to say, I earned over, 10,000 drive tickets. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares how many drive tickets you earned. You're basically saying that you keep your profile hidden for basically no fucking reason. And then he says, go watch this crappy stream I made. I'm not watching your stream. I'm not watching your stream. Nobody cares. Like, you can say you entered all these tournaments, but the truth is you've lied multiple times. And your logic, by the way, is that there are league-separated tournaments that have rank restrictions, which you said earlier don't exist, and you can't smurf because they don't exist. But they don't have drive tickets as rewards, so they might as well not exist. Ah, yes, because drive tickets, that's what matters. Also, do they exist or do they not matter? You have to pick a lane there. You can't have it both ways, dum-dum. But, this brilliant individual clearly does not understand this. Anyway, so I said, basically, they are not ever at full capacity. This is 100% a lie. I play in Eastern Time Zone, and I have personally checked. Additionally, there are player count trackers, as I've mentioned. There's no possible situation where all of the Asia servers are full. Cite a source. Now, mind you, this was 2 hours ago. We do not have a source from him. It's still just trust me, bro. I'm telling you, just trust me. Anyway, as I said, obviously, they may as well not exist is not a, that's not a statement. You can't just say that. That's not how that works. But aside from that not being how it works, here's where we get into my, actual citation of proof that this guy is a lying sack of shit. So, your experience amounts to nothing more than you made it all up. There are many people, not only here, but on the Steam forums and in this very thread, but on the Street Fighter Reddit, that all agreed the Asia server players are intentionally coming to NA and EU servers to play in tournaments, and it's not because their servers are full. It's because they can snag easy wins. We have all noted it. It seems like they just sweep with their ping issues, and it's obvious because of the drop frames and rollback with, 200 milliseconds of ping. It's awful. I genuinely, I don't understand how they can play, let alone me. But, oh, it's bad. It's really bad. It's like playing a tournament 5 seconds behind the other guy. It's really disgusting, and I hate it. Rollback can't fix that shit. Rollback's pushed to its limits at that point. Anyway, it's happening in all formats, and I 110% assure you that the Phase 4 and League-separated tournaments on the 12th and 11th of May, respectively, will have out-of-region players from the Asia servers, and those servers will not be full, and they will not be at all during that day. I play Street Fighter at all 3 tournaments a few times a month, and I'm telling you from my experience that you're absolutely not informed, nor did you make an effort to check. And here's the proof. Let me tell you what the actual numbers are. Steam B's tracker counts the player counts for games at irregular intervals. The 4 p.m. EST tournament has Asia server players. Total player count at that time every single day is roughly 6,500 worldwide. All players, not just the Battle Hub, 6,500. This is the lowest point in the day, mind you, is the 4 p.m. hour Eastern time. What does that translate to? A lie. The 9 a.m. tournament, Eastern Standard, is taking place at the worldwide peak player count on Steam. Now, I should say, mind you, I don't have the ability to access, console player counts, but I guarantee you they follow the same trending graph. The reason I know this is because that's how player counts work. It's usually pretty accurate from PC's player counts onto consoles. Just saying. Anyways. There's a 12-hour difference, by the way. I forgot to mention this, between CST and EST. It's exactly 12 hours. 9 a.m. is 9 p.m. And as should be obvious, the 4 p.m. tournament is 4 a.m. CST, which is why there's basically nobody online. The U.S. players are not on yet, because they're all asleep. And the Asia players are still not online, because they're asleep. Well, I'm sorry. It's not that they're asleep. Rather, it's that they're just not getting on yet, which is why the peak starts going up at about 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern time. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. All you need to understand is that there's nobody playing at that hour, so his logic doesn't hold up for the the middle of the day tournament. It's dumb, but anyways. TLDR, 26,000 average on Steam is the highest number. Once again, this is all modes in Street Fighter. Idling in menus, playing in cabinets with other players. There's no way. Basically, there's roughly 13,000 at the 11 p.m. one, which is 11 a.m. in CST. In other words, the middle of the day. This guy expects me to believe that there are so many players in the middle of the day. I'm talking like for Asia servers, mind you, this is basically from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You expect me to believe that from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. there are so many players entering the Asia server tournaments that they fill up all of those slots every single tournament? Now, to, anyone who doesn't really understand gaming, that sounds possible. Maybe. Except I do know gaming, and I know that's not possible because I checked. But it's not even hard. You can see all of the servers. You can go to enter other servers. It's so easy to know he's lying. And he just doesn't understand that. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked here, as I always do. But basically I said, you're fucking lying. Here's the proof. I checked the player counts. I checked the numbers. I checked the times. I checked the servers. You're lying. Mind you, I posted this 2 hours ago, and I had played in the tournaments on the 8th. I didn't play in all 3 of them. I played in the 9 a.m. and the 11 p.m. But I checked the servers at the same time to see, because, they they were happening at the same time. Guess what? They weren't full. Their brackets were open. They had slots. This was total bullshit. So I don't know what he's on about. Jesus Christ, I literally posted a video where I show all the tournaments I entered throughout 10 different months. Yada, 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 yada. Okay. Your video does not prove anything. It shows that you played in tournaments. Congratulations. You played in tournaments. That does not prove what you said, that they are full, and that they are leaving those servers to NA servers to play in our tournaments. That's the proof he needs to provide. He does not prove anything with this video. He just shows himself playing in tournaments. Call me a liar because I didn't consider league-separated tournaments. Numbers are pointless because there are only 24 lobbies per region that hold tournaments, and 32 players for each of those tournaments. The servers don't even have to be at capacity. He is correct. The Battle Hub servers have 100-player capacity, and 32-player tournaments takes up roughly 1/3 of the server's total capacity. Keep believing what Reddit tells you or whatever if that makes you feel more smarter or whatever. As I said, this man's name is Ranchi because his statements and opinions and insults are all rancid shit. He just chopped off some things just like he did with some of his frontal cortex. Anyways, so here we get into the final statements, where I absolutely roast this man's ass for being this bad at checking his own logic. And here's where we get to the actual raw number that he doesn't state, because he doesn't want to state that number because it makes him sound incredibly dumb. All you need to understand, by the way, is that the vast amount of players for the Street Fighter games, and basically all games, is in North America. I don't know what it is, but North America takes up like between 40 to 60% of the global player counts for almost all games that have online multiplayer components. Just so that's, put out there. If you ever want to check me on it, look it up. This is a real thing. Like, North American players are the vast majority of players. Other regions don't even compare. It's crazy. Anyways. Yada, yada, yada. Basically, 24 servers with 32 player capacities, guys, is 768 players. This man wants us to believe that every single tournament, twice a day, has 768 players in the Asia servers taking up slots every single time. Now, to anyone who is intelligent, already ran those numbers earlier and instantly realized that this is not possible, especially not with the hours that we have assessed and the player counts at those hours. It's just not possible. Keep in mind, by the way, that every NA tournament that I have ever attended, none of them had 32 players in the last couple of months that I've been playing. It has been this way for months because nobody is happy about the way these tournaments are run, and on top of that, the tournaments have weird issues with people smurfing in the league tournaments and entering out of region in every tournament. So, I present to you again, cite a source, buddy, because I cited mine. Mine is logic, literally looking at the servers during the tournaments, and just checking the player counts and doing some basic math to know that this is not true. That is literally so easy. Anyways, he basically tried to gaslight us all here that all 768 possible players in the Asia servers were filling their tournament slots and showing up on time. This is... One, it didn't happen, all of these tournaments. It literally physically didn't happen. On top of that, it is a statistical anomaly for that to have happened at all. And it just doesn't happen. It has not happened since launch, since like the first tournaments. It just doesn't happen. So, that aside, I did all the math here. But this absolute Mongo brain likes me to want, he basically wants me to go watch his video. I'm not going to watch your entire stupid fucking video and give you a view that you don't deserve. You've proven you're dumb. I've checked his profile in-game because his Steam profile is private. All you need to understand is he is a master ranked player. I'm not doubting his skill. I'm doubting his intellect. Because his intellect is small. Very, very small. Probably about the size of his dick. In other words, non-existent. Because this absolute pussy-ass coward has nothing to add. And he has nothing to prove he's right. And he has no good comebacks to hit me with. In fact, if his, mental capacity was at all comparable to his fighting game skills, he would actually probably be a bronze or unranked player, because he's legitimately dumb as rocks. This man is an idiot. And I am actually losing my mind dealing with him. So basically, we're gonna end it here. I have shown this man is a dipshit. I have nothing else to say. I've run the numbers. I've checked the servers. He's just wrong. And I'll put links to the page for SteamDB in the description so you can check this for yourself. It's not hard to check. It's so easy to prove him wrong. But anyways, we're going to call it here. As I said, my sons, I always bring you good content, where people act like idiots, and I call them out for it. Keep coming back for more presents, and your hourly beatings may stop. Because Papa loves you, and that's why he's beating you. So you'll work harder.